Another wild game. So disappointing result. But at times when we needed to be solid with the ball and solid defensively, we had struggles at untimely moments, and so it cost us. All that said, with everything that happened in the last minute, we still had a shot at the end to win. That's a positive thing. We're not going to be dismissive of any positives that happen, because that's all part of it. We've got to build on good things and keep talking about and correcting the things that are not good.
You guys are up 7 in the final minutes before this one turned to them. Where did you see kind of go wrong late, or how did you see the Raptors kind of impose their will and get some buckets in the final stretch?
With some, we had some shot selection that wasn't probably appropriate a couple of times. And look, if they go in, everybody, claps and says, "Great shot." But time to score is important. These are things we got to learn from. It's one thing to be a running team, but the last 2-3 minutes of an NBA game are game management time as well, and so we got to recognize those situations better. They made some good plays, so that's where we are.
Without two of your better perimeter defenders in Andrew and Aaron, how did you try to adjust, and what did you think of your team's response to those adjustments? What did you do instead to try to combat their size, or what did you feel like you had to do differently without them?
Well, we played some other guys. Really, Wara had a chance to play, and really he was the only one that was a real adjustment of sorts, I guess. On the second night, we wanted to make sure that everybody was rested as much as possible. I mean, they played last night too, but our game was pretty emotional. So I thought we turned the page from that pretty well. But when you build a 10, 12, 13-point lead early, we've just got to understand that at that point you got to bear down and work to keep or extend that lead. It's not a time to become undisciplined and try to do heroic things, gamble and so forth. And we made some mistakes in the first half that really cost us, that got them right back in the game. So these are learning things. So we'll learn from that stuff, and we got to get ready for Friday. It's another in-season tournament game, and there'll be plenty going on with that.
2 big games in a row for Buddy. Do you attribute that to just him making shots, or is there something more to what he's doing and what you've done with him to lead to that?
Well, the opportunity to start is going to help a player like Buddy. The opportunity to play with Ty from the beginning of the game is going to help a player like Buddy. And but lineup-wise, nothing's written in stone. We just we've got to do the right things for the team, and that's what we'll look at on a game-to-game basis.
Regardless of the lineup piece, though, I mean, how just big is – and you knew he was going to get going at some point in time. Every time we asked you about him, you're like, he's Buddy, he'll be fine. But what has it meant the last couple games to see Buddy back like himself and hitting the shots that he usually hits?
Buddy doesn't change. He just his approach is always the same. He's undaunted by games where the ball didn't go in the basket. He really works hard at who he is and what he's doing. And I thought tonight he also fought pretty hard in some difficult defensive matchups and held his own pretty good. To start the game giving up 27 and then going to 41, it's a good illustration of a little bit of where we're at. We get off to a good start, and we just there's a tendency to exhale defensively, and we got to learn from that. We got to learn from it. I mean, putting 20-something defensive quarters together is challenging in today's NBA. And when you start with a 27, the goal has got to be to somehow try to repeat it the following quarter. And a 41 following a 27's, not good enough. Not going to get it done. So, but that's a learning thing. We gotta decide that it's important. Our players have to decide that it's important, and then we'll do better.
You've talked about this guy a bunch in the past, but I mean, Pascal, when you're struggling to defend in the first place, I mean, just how tough is it to slow down a guy like that? I mean, just what are the things that he can do to beat you?
Well, he's big and skilled, and he gets to his spots pretty well. And in situations where we trapped him, he got it out and did a good job of finding the right guy at the right time. So, during that stretch where I think, had gotten up 7, or maybe it was 5 at that point, we had a situation where we came down at the right time, and then the next man was just this much late, and I think it may have been Flynn that hit a 3, and then I got it down to either 4 or 2 or whatever it was, and then boom, you're right back to a 1-possession game. So, this stuff's hard. I mean, the guy's a great player. He's an all-star. So, but they made plays, and we didn't make enough plays, and we hurt ourselves throughout the game with some mistakes that we will learn from.
Probably just bad shot selection, not finishing possessions defensively. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I should have done a better job of closing the game.
They had a few possessions where throughout the whole game they could just dump it into Siakam with his size. What kind of struggle did he specifically give you guys, and what could you feel like have done a little differently against him all night?
Yeah, I mean, he was tough for us to guard. Big wings have been a struggle for us all year. 11 free throws. 11 free throws, so, they're getting to the free throw line a lot. But it ultimately came down to we got rebounded by 15, didn't get enough stops when we needed to.
Without Aaron and Andrew, do you feel like it's tougher to defend, and what adjustments do you make as a team without 2 of your better guys on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, they're 2 of our elite defenders, so not having them hurts. But we were right there. Should have won the game. Just some boneheaded decisions down the stretch and not getting enough stops.
Of course, you have a long-standing relationship with Buddy. What do you think of the very last play, the shot he took, all that?
I'll take that 10 times out of 10. I think everybody else will as well. Wide open, top of the key. He works on it every day, so that's a great look for us.
Just to stick on that, Buddy obviously made a ton of huge shots yesterday, kept rolling today. Just what's got him going? Obviously, I'm sure it helps to get back in the starting lineup and work with you, but, I mean, what do you think's got him out of it, and how good is it to see that version of Buddy the last 2 nights?
Just trusting his work and the law of averages. He's struggled early in the year, so they're bound to fall. He's one of the best shooters to ever touch a basketball, so it's no surprise he's doing what he's doing.
You mentioned the term bonehead decisions. Is there 1 or 2 in particular that's standing out to you right now, that's eating at you right now as far as stuff that didn't go right?
Probably the drive on the left wing. I thought I got fouled, but I don't ever get fouled, so I probably went too early. Should have done a better job getting us into our offense and getting a better look for us, attacking the right guys. Yeah, just some bad decisions on my end, but yeah, I probably should have went all the way to the rim there or slowed down. I went a little early, so that's kind of eating at me right now.
That's the one about 20 seconds to go, somewhere in that range?
Yeah, down the left slot. I felt like there was a lot of contact. OG's a great defender, but I'd have to rewatch it, but I thought his arm was on my hip the whole time I was driving, and they didn't agree with me.
What's obviously a new starting lineup tonight? You guys have had some shifts with that. I mean, and as a whole, you guys produced really well, just as a group. I mean, just what did you like about how that group worked together, especially on the offensive end?
We were good in the first quarter. I mean, we talked about all year about starting games better. We've been trash in the first quarter. I've been personally trash in first quarters all year. So held them at 27. That was good. Let up in the second quarter. and that hurt us for sure. So, yeah, I mean, we got to be better at sustaining when we're doing well and finishing and ending quarters better. Yeah, put us in a better position.
I've had a couple of these just tough, close ones at home. I mean, how painful are these in the course of a season like this? We've had so many highs and lows.
Yeah, they're irritating. Like, we've had some games where we felt like we should have closed better. We should be in a better position than we are right now. But, like, the best thing about the NBA is we play in 2 days. So once I shower, get this game out of my mind and move on to Thanksgiving with my family tomorrow and be ready to go on Friday. Because you look backwards, it gets ugly. You know what I mean? Because over the course of 82, there's probably 10 to 12 you want back that you had a chance to win. A lot of games come down to the last 5 minutes. So we should have closed the game better. I should have closed the game better. But these are all learning experiences for all of us, myself included, and I'll be better at closing games moving forward for sure.
So we didn't get timely starts that we needed. We didn't execute, but we needed to execute on defense. We have a better time and score. I mean, on the offensive end too, know when to shoot the ball. Have a better feel of momentum, giving guys momentum down the court, stuff like that. Good game though.
Their size gave you guys trouble, you even regarding Barnes or Siakam at times during this game. What kind of difficulty did they give you, and what do you feel like you guys could have done maybe a little better against the size that they have all over the court?
Those guys, they're big, but it's Toronto. You just gotta fight them, and they're good going down the hill. But one thing you do is you want them to shoot jump shots because they're not a good jump shot shooting team. But OG made shots when it counted. Guys know how to get to their spots. Scotty does a good job. Siakam does a great job. He's the lead. He's been in the league for the past 5-6 years in this league, just doing what he does. Dennis is being Dennis.
How do things change for you guys defensively when you don't have Aaron or Andrew, two of your better perimeter defenders in a game?
Watching the film and seeing how we messed up, just simple reads, communication. We wish we could have those guys, but the things that we messed up is communication. We can blame it on defense, but if we communicate and do the stuff the coaches tell us to do, we can fix a lot of problems. It just comes down to communication and doing our job.
I know you're a little frustrated about your slump before these last two games. So what have these last two meant to you, and what do you feel like's kind of ignited your play these last two games?
Just free myself. Hats off to Rick making an adjustment. I feel like kind of helped me a little bit, and helped me get more ready and locked in. In the game, it gives you a lot of opportunities. You got to take advantage of it, and I thank God for opportunity. So just got to make the best of it when you're out there playing, especially if you're starting to do, you got to be ready. And I think Rick wanted a spark, because we've been getting off the rough starts. We've been getting off the better starts the past two games, but look at it, we just got to learn to finish these games now. They're games we should win, no excuse.
Obviously you and Ty have already had really good chemistry, but when you're both shooting the ball this well, just how much is that fueling just what you've been able to do shooting-wise the last two games?
You just gotta, find ways. I'm looking at the box score. I think everybody a fair share. You find ways to get Myles more good looks, Bruce more touches. And sometimes guys get bored of that. But like you say, me and Tyler making shots. So when you're making shots, you're just like, okay, we'll keep shooting. So we gotta find ways to get, looking get Ben going more instead in the second group. He's a big factor of what we do. And just gotta keep learning, man. With a lot of changes have happened, but no excuses to the NBA. We gotta learn how to adjust and be ready.
Do got to ask about the last shot. Just what all kind of transpired on that play? Do you like the look? what just I guess kind of take us through it on your end. What's that?
You like the look?
Yeah, pretty much. You hit a bunch, so I'd trusted you with it.
You like the look. I like the look. I think it's a great look. I think that no matter how far you are, you got to catch and shoot. Especially coming from me, I missed it, but if I'd have made it, everybody's like, oh, he made a good shot and he made hot all night. But it's one of those things that's how the game works. You make it all night, it comes to that shot, and you miss it, and didn't get rewarded. But get somebody to talk about and say, oh, you should take a dribble or not. I'm going to take that shot if I get it again 100 times. And I don't give a And it's confidence, man. It's confidence I have. My teammates, Ty, trusted me, you know, and that's what we live and die by, you know. Yes, we wish the game didn't come to that, but that's what the game brought us to. Didn't stay it in.
Yeah, I mean, you got to credit Toronto. They didn't go away, but like you said, up what we were with 4 minutes left. Gotta execute down the stretch and put teams away to get where we want to go.
A new defensive system and some new personnel as well. I'm sure there's some patience necessary to get where you guys want to be there. But can you put a finger on maybe where the next step for this defense and what it looks like?
We're just about executing on that end. You know, you can put all the X's and O's in that you want, but we've got to be better and play harder and play smarter on that end. It's just that simple.
Can you take me through the last few days here for you? You've had a bigger role and you maintained a professionalism in all of this, but your ability to come in and continue to make an impact regardless of that role.
Yeah, you know, I'm sharing the same sentiment I've had all year. Just going to be ready in any role that I'm put in. You know, Drew's out and missed a few games, and whatever the team needs of me, I'm going to step in and do to the best of my abilities and be a professional.
This one stings. You guys have played perhaps in more close games than anybody in the league. Do you feel like big picture you will gain from experiences like this, the highs of last night, the lows of tonight?
Yeah, but this year isn't a year of moral victories to get where we want to go, and that's to play in the playoffs. Games like this are very important, and can't continue to do what we did tonight.
Final thought, Rick kind of said he drew a line at game number 16 in the season in terms of 11 of 16 at home, and you still got an opportunity with a couple home games here coming up. Do you view that as a similar opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, anytime we can, play multiple games here in front of this crowd, it puts us at an advantage because, our fans are truly incredible. And like I said, we have to take advantage of that, playing at home and kind of get on a roll.
I mean, just directly looking back on it, I mean, just maybe quick shots on our part. Obviously, they got downhill. I messed up a couple coverages. I take full responsibility for that. Scotty Barnes got downhill, made a good play, and one, and then just kind of it was a domino effect from there. They made a couple plays on offense, but it just came up short.
Where do you feel like you guys had your breakdowns defensively today? They were able to kind of get it going inside a lot.
I think we switched a lot today, and they took full advantage of our switching. Sometimes when you switch, communication isn't as sharp as that should be. Get some slips to the basket, some open threes, and we just weren't sharp enough.
Just how much does their size kind of add to everything when you're dealing with switches and you're having some tough matchups and whatnot? When they've got 6'7" all the way up to.
They present their challenges, but it's not the first time we've seen that. I think it's just one of those things. Like I said, our communication just has to be as sharp as possible. The best defensive teams are able to talk to each other and and are able to just communicate. It's just very efficiently down the stretch.
That handoff you're referring to, was that a communication breakdown? Was that supposed to
No,
be?
that was all me. Literally, I take full responsibility for that. That shouldn't have. We talked about it in the huddle. I even knew it was coming. I just, it was just a lapse, and it was a bad lapse at that.